up the Villa. It finished in the FA Cup semi-final. Coventry 3, Manchester United 3 in normal and extra time. And on penalties, we beat Coventry by 4 pens to 2. I feel embarrassed. That was not good enough. That is a sackable offence in itself. That was a complete and utter calamity. You could have played the Benny Hill theme tune throughout that second half. And Coventry are robbed, by the way. You won't hear this in the far top of the channel, but you hear it on here. That goal should have stood by Coventry. Lee Dixon in commentary said that it was onside. But then he goes the other direction. He goes, oh, it wasn't onside. Even Lee Dixon, who used to be a defender, by the way, even he thought it was, and then he thought it wasn't. Because nobody knows anymore. And I don't celebrate when Man United score, because I know VAR is going to rule it out. I just know it in the back of my mind. So Coventry were, it's harsh. That was harsh. And actually it was similar to a couple of years ago when Liverpool and Chelsea faced each other in the League Cup and the FA Cup final. And in the FA Cup final, that was Roman Abramovich's last hurrah because of what was going on, if you believe that, you believe anything, in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine, where Abramovich's assets were frozen. I think Yusufov, who was at Everton, his was frozen as well. Previously to that, he was at Arsenal. So the FA didn't want Chelsea to win that because of what people thought was happening in Ukraine because of Russia invading it. If you believe that, again, you believe anything. Can't kid a kidder. We were 3-0 up, cruising to victory. Coventry couldn't lay a glove on us. They couldn't get to grips with what we were doing to them. Then it all changed in the second half. And then Coventry grew into the match. And I tell you now, if they played like they did in the second half, in the first half, Coventry would have beaten us. But fair play to Coventry. From the second half, putting on a show, putting their heart and soul into the second half. They gave it 100%. And in my eyes, they were robbed. But they only have themselves to blame for playing pitiful in that first half. But they should have done well in the second, in that first half. Okay? And I'm not going to celebrate this victory, by the way. We're going to get demolished. Spit roasted, any analogy you want to use, against Man City. I think the final is in the first week of June. So we're not going to win that. We're not. And Ten Hag should walk. He should walk. Because he is not Manchester United standard. He doesn't deserve to be associated as a Man United manager. The bald-headed bastard should have went long ago. This doesn't change my mind. And it shouldn't change anybody else who was Ten Hag out. I'm disappointed in the way we won that. If we won it 3-0 and Coventry didn't come back from the depths of despair, then I would say, okay, we deserve to win. Can't be angry about it. We're in the final. Jobs are good. But I can't feel like that. I feel empty. I feel like an empty vessel. I just don't get how people can think this is acceptable. We used to have standards years ago, by the way. And I said this before. The far toppers on YouTube are the reason we haven't won a league title. They're the reason that this club will cease to exist if we're not very careful. Right? I do think the future's bright for Man United Football Club. I think bringing in Will Cox is a stroke of genius. Omar Barada, that's a good signing. I like that. We still have to get Dan Ashworth from Newcastle. Right? So I can feel the tide is turning, basically. But then the manager needs to go. I don't want to see another fucking year of this manager. Right? As Man United fans who want success, we do not want this manager to stay at this football club. And he's only in this job as far as he's gone because of McTominay. McTominay saved his job on so many occasions. That's why we are where we are today. Nothing to do with him as a manager. You know, nothing to do with him. It's just that players who come up from the cold, like McTominay, saved his skin, saved his bacon, and I can't celebrate what happened today. I will not celebrate that. I just can't. I just can't accept. It's embarrassing that that happened today, right? But Coventry did put on a show in the second half. But for me, to win on penalty kicks after going 3-0 up, that's an absolute travesty. I just don't feel that is what Man United's about, you know. But we're in the final. Now we need to win the remaining games. We have to finish above Newcastle. That has to be a cast iron guarantee. If we're not, then I'll be absolutely steaming. But as of now, we're in the FA Cup final. We're not going to win the FA Cup final, so forget about it. If you can't beat Coventry and you lose a 3-0 lead against them in normal time, you don't deserve to win any competition. And I'll say it again, up the Villa.